down, hitting the fadeaway, 39 points, 9 boards, first 30-point game since December 30th, 2024. And the Sixers win. Big Perk is back with us. Okay, Perk, Joel Embiid, season-high 39 points, by far his best game of the season. Perk, inquiring Sixer fans want to know, is the old Embiid finally back?
I mean, we haven't seen this Joel Embiid since Moby Dick was a goldfish, and I loved every minute of it. And I get it; he was playing against a struggling Pacers team, but the fact that he went out there and dropped 39 points, and it's not just the 39 points because he's one of the most skilled bigs to ever touch the damn basketball. Is more that he had his lift. Right? The way that he was moving up and down the floor, the way that he was able to get into his rhythm and to his shots, the way that he was hitting the glass, he was actually getting up off the ground. And so if you're a 76er fan or you're the coach or the organization, you should be thrilled by seeing this performance. The only problem is, can he keep this up? Can this be consistent? Is he going to be looking healthy throughout the rest of the regular season is going to be the biggest question.
Because if he can, the Sixers can go far, but that's the big if when you talk about these Sixers. All right, Perk, we're not done. Stick around.
Good win for the Sixers here inside Xfinity Mobile Arena, and we welcome you to Sixers Postgame Live, brought to you by Curado Insurance. Amy Fiddle, the coach Jim Lynam, and our big man Mark Jackson. And guys, going into this game, we knew they were going to have, a battle because they did not have their leading scorer, the third leading scorer in the NBA, in Tyrese Maxey. But everybody else got that memo, Mark Jackson, and they decided to step up in big time.
And when did they ever? You know, when you go back to looking at this game, when you watch this game again, you'll see the way the team flowed. The team didn't rely on one guy. I know Paul George and Joel Embiid had incredible games along with VJ, but it was a lot of guys touching the ball. Guys play with confidence. And I think Nick Nurse said it in pregame. He said, we've had time to figure it out because Maxey's been out sick for a while. So they all look good, especially Joel Embiid.
Yeah, it was a vintage PG, vintage Joel Embiid. Everybody kind of rolling it back on a game. They really needed everybody. And this was a very interesting box score. Coach, you were just talking about it earlier. There's a lot of double digits. There's almost some double-doubles out there. Some guys only one rebound away. It was a real team effort.
Yeah, and I think at the offensive end, their ability to get to the foul line. Joe, to me, he can always do that. Even if he's not playing well, he's going to be able to draw fouls. But you see VJ, he chipped in with a lot of free throws. And as a result, the disparity, they had twice as many free throws as did the Indiana Pacers. And when you put that kind of a number up there, you're going to win most of those games.
Every starter in double figures scoring for the Sixers. That's always a good thing in the win. Their 14th of the year. This one down the stretch, you wondered, that is usually Tyrese Maxey time. He's a guy that takes over the fourth quarter. Well, that role was filled by two people tonight. That is our Toyota electrifying moment. Paul George and Joel Embiid getting it done. Couple of plays here, Coach. So right underneath, great assist there from PG to Dominic Barlow.
Yeah, tie game. You see Paul George penetrates right in the middle of the defense and gives a great pass and a nice finish by Barlow.
And this is going to be, something we mentioned in the pregame show was free throws. And you see Joel get the bucket and the bonus here.
You pay close attention here. Watch how it start. Joel for position early, got on Pascal Siakam, and don't do a big foul.
Oh, he thought about it.
Right here, he was able to do it, and Pascal being frustrated, got a foul at the end one.
He definitely thought about the chop right there. And then Paul George again. I mean, that's just driving right in, Coach.
He's a skilled ball handler. He knows how to use his body. See the left shoulder?
Yeah.
And just, I call that carving space with the left shoulder and kisses the glass.
Yes, he did. He was fired up after that one, and rightfully so. And this is another fired up after that one, and rightfully so. And this is another.
Big time. That's vintage, right?
That is absolutely vintage Joel Embiid. That is that turnaround. Going right on Siakam. They've had numerous battles over the years. Two Cameroonian players. I know they have a good relationship, but he took the better of them right there. It was a lot of fun to watch.
It was good to watch that because every time I see Pascal, I think about the.
Yeah.
So it was good they hit that
right in his face.
Pascal,
listen, this was a great game for Joel Embiid. He had just under 32 minutes played, 39 points. 39 points in 32 minutes? What are we doing? This is impressive. 52% shooting. The only knock really is his three-point wasn't falling. Whatever, I don't really care at this point. 13 of 18, though, that's kind of unusual for him free throws.
And you're right, and we talked
18
about
I like.
his three-point shooting at the half. I'm going to tell you something. At the end of the half, he got a rebound with 8 seconds to go. He dribbled it out of the backcourt. There was no doubt in my mind he was shooting three. Nothing but net.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He hit that right before halftime. That was a lot of fun to watch. Go ahead.
But out of all these beautiful numbers we see, the most important thing with me was 32.
32 minutes.
That's what I like.
And they staggered him a bit. They didn't have him a lot in the beginning of the fourth, in the third, but then they really had it late in the fourth, and that's when it counted, as you saw that. He is our Colonial Nissan game changer, Joel Embiid. It's been a minute. Welcome back, big fella. As Kate mentioned, this is his best game. His last 30-point game was almost a calendar year ago, but it's the most points since he had 70 back in January of 2024. But really, everything was working. And he talked to Kate Scott and Al Abdenabi post-game, Coach, and he was saying, like, yeah, the last game wasn't so good. This week they had some extra practice. He brought his shot guy in Drew Hanlon, and he was 4 of 21 last game. He was 12 of 23 this one.
Yeah, I think he was determined, Amy. You know, come on, as good as Joe is, a game like he had the other night gets your attention. I mean, he just uncharacteristically missed so many shots that he normally makes. And I think he put the extra time and work in. As you said, he brought his guy in, and you see the result.
Well, this was the last, one time in between this and that regular season game, the 70-point game, he did have in a playoff game 50 against the Knicks in game 3. So this was the most in a regular season game since that 70 spot. But they've been few and far between. But when you're looking at the whole repertoire, this is exactly what we're used to seeing. That mid-range, the turnaround, the low post, even a 3 in there. This is the full Joel Embiid, Mark.
Absolutely. It's so important to understand, like, to watch him get out there and watch the impact he have and to see how it just can't be stopped. You know, they had Huff on him, then he went Pascal, then he doubled him, then he didn't. It was like, how do you stop him? I like that when he got hot in that third, the team kept feeding him.
When he thought about doing the DX chop, do you think he heard the fine in his head and thought, maybe I'd like to keep that money?
He heard everyone is standing like, no!
Yeah, because you saw they cut away to Trendon Watford, who I thought was also going to do it, and everybody's holding their breath because the last time he did it, he got fined a decent chunk of change.
Yes.
They don't really appreciate that, apparently. And then, of course, he went on social media. But the one thing that you took away was the minutes. Another thing I take away is some of the comments that he made to Kate Scott and Al Abdenabi after the game. And they asked him about, you know, how different this year is. And we all know the health is a big thing, and he's working his way back. This is just his 10th game that he's played. But really, the joy that you've seen on his face, even on the games where he hasn't been at the end. I remember on the Tyrese Maxey block, he was one of the first ones over there to congratulate Tyrese on that block. He talked about the team chemistry, and I think that's something that cannot go understated right now. It was an exceptionally rough year last year. They won 24 total games. Right now, they have 14 wins. They're well on their way, almost matching that right now, and we're not even at the end of the year. Mark, what does it do when you have that kind of team chemistry and you're winning and you're finding ways to win when some of your guys are out?
You know, winning creates culture. It helps build a culture. I mean, when you got people that really feed into it, and not just that, they're truly feed into it, which means they understand what's the mission and they dedicated to it. It just helps build everybody's morale. This team has unfortunately been bit with some injury bugs early. Maxey's been a constant, and for him to be out, it's like everybody's looking like, oh no, it's starting again. So for him to be out and then everybody steps up, Amy, it just lets you know what his team is and what the talent level is as well.
Well, the way that the schedule is set up with the NBA Cup, they have 2 games in 11 days when you're looking at it coming up. So they have this game on Sunday, Coach, and then they don't play again until a week from now. What are the chances that you see Joel Embiid on Sunday because of the way that the scheduling is?
I think he'll want to kind of pick up right where he left off with a good performance like this would be my guess. But I think one of the factors you heard Nick Nurse say over this stretch where they're not going to play a lot, they're going to get time in the gym with each other, and I think that's important. It doesn't necessarily be 5-on-5 full court, but they can go over a lot of schematic things and get a little more familiar one with another. I think this was a big step in that direction.
Yeah, it would be really good to see him. And if you're wondering if Tyrese Maxey's watching, you have to check out social media because he was sending out all kinds of posts talking about it's a good process and giving Paul George some praise as well. So hopefully he gets better very soon and we see him on Sunday as well. All right. We're going to need to have the song because it is Clap Your Hands. Sixers get the win, 14 of them so far this year. This one was a fun one. It was a good one. We'll continue to break down. We're going to check in on VJ Edgecombe's site as well as show you a little bit more on Paul